group home in Jersey that reached out to me about 3 weeks ago after I did the 85 South Show interview because I said I wanted to get back into speaking. So when he called me, he told me he had to talk to his higher ups. He said they house anywhere from 30 to 35 people. He called me back. He said the higher ups said they didn't want me to come because I was kind of, basically he said I was kind of borderline, that I was up and down. Like it seemed like I was more so glorifying versus, and I caught myself real quick wanting to explain like he don't understand that I'm fishing. I said I was in a group home before. I said, but see, why they can't reach the people in the group home is because they bringing people in briefcases and ties and suits that them people ain't even paying no attention to because they do not relate. But see, in the system, in their mind, that's what they think change is supposed to look like and represent. When you don't understand that you carrying people, that you bringing people up in here that grew up in 2-parent homes. You got 18 kids in here out of 30. Now I'm gonna say 25 out of 30 kids in here who grew up without a father. Then the father was probably an addict. The father was probably in prison. The father probably just went off and started a whole nother family. That's what you got. You bringing people in here who went to college, had both of their parents, had straight A's. They did everything on black and white, and you saying this is the model you need to be. This is what it should. This is what it looks like when you succeed in life. And them folks is looking. I was him. I was the one who sit in that chair, heard this man talk about studying harder. Listen to me, sir. You got to study harder. You know why? Because you didn't get off the bus and walk in and see your mama and the guy she going with fighting. You didn't have that kind of distraction. You didn't lay down at night, anxiety levels high, stressed out because you hearing screaming, banging up against the wall. You wasn't traumatized waking up in the morning and you slowly opening your door because you're trying to make sure that the coast is clear so you can come out of your room, and then the first thing you see is a hole in the wall, maybe a little blood on the carpet. Listen, you don't understand that, sir. And then I'm taking it the wrong way because I'm watching a person. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. I'm just saying you don't make me want to listen to you because I don't think you understand me. Because while you trying to give me all of this information that you think is encouraging, I got so many things I want to unravel and ask that I know you can't even relate to. Because before you can help a person, you might have to hear a person out. Because while you trying to say do this and do that and do that, you don't even know how many layers you probably need to help this person overcome and see it from a different perspective anyway. And then not only that, when I get out of here, guess what? I'm going back to a similar environment, sir. My teacher, for instance, I knew I was smart. My grades didn't determine my intelligence. But on the black and white and how we live, it determines if you're educated or not. But what you ain't understanding, teacher, is the reason I really ain't focusing in this classroom is because I live in a jungle. Literally, lions, tigers, and bears. Like, my mama go with one of the biggest drug dealers. I watch traffic in and out all the time. I see dice games all the time. I learned how to shoot dice from listening at 7, 8 years old. Listen to me. Not only that, if I walk up the street, listen to me. It's they literally, you don't understand the environment that I'm in, and you're trying to say I'm behind in school, and I'm saying, but you don't know what's going on up here, what I'm thinking, what I'm dealing with. You don't know. I'm sitting there, you thinking, you calling home telling on me, saying I'm falling asleep in class, and I didn't get no sleep last night. I can't tell you, because I don't want you to snatch me up and put me in DCS custody and take me away from my mama. But I can't tell you I didn't get no sleep last night because they fought for 3 hours. They was yelling, screaming, cussing, fighting, tearing stuff up, knocking holes in the wall, doing a whole bunch of cussing. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't get no sleep. So when I came in, no, it wasn't because I stayed up on the video game. And guess what? If I stayed up on the video game 9 times out of 10, I was trying to tune out what was going on. Or I just didn't want to, even if it wasn't no yelling and screaming, maybe I played the video game because I'm traumatized when I lay down, worried about certain things. Do you not know that it was time, not to say that we struggled like that. It was time I didn't eat because they got into it so heavy, it was go to sleep, fix you some cereal or fix you some noodles. And I woke up hungry. You hear me? So by the time I got in here hungry and I'm tired because I didn't get near one of them. But so when the guy in the group home told me that, he said they not ready for you. He said, but keep doing what you're doing. It bothered me. Listen, going back to the broad and wide and the narrow, it bothered me. My first 2.5 years home. Listen to what I'm going to tell you, man. My first 2.5 years home, all I did was ministry. All I did was travel and speak at churches. All I did, I went to group homes. I spoke in people's backyards. Like, all I did was positive, completely. Guess what? Couldn't get, didn't that one of them people want to, didn't nobody hit me up and say they wanted to pay me to come and speak. Did nobody hit me up and say, none of that. Now, they see them numbers, like I said on the 85 South Show interview. Your numbers is your resume in this world now. But when that man told me that, I wouldn't work at a group home, that ain't my calling. When that man told me that, I felt bad about the narrow path that I had been on. I know it. My narrow path ministry is not a reflection of what he wanted to be. That's just like, it's certain churches and certain pastors I know I can't talk. I can't sit up under because we don't relate. He might have some deacons or something that I can relate, but it's certain pastors that I just know that I wouldn't even, me and you don't even, we don't. And I said, see, that's right there, that enemy trying to make me feel like the narrow path and the spiritual is where I'm at, is out of pocket. But it's not. You got to understand what you have been called to do. You know how many, man, listen, I spoke in so many churches and every one of them pastors except one, I think that's the one in Houston, stopped following me. They stopped following me when I started elevating. Let me explain something to you. If that's how they feel, it's how you feel. If you feel, but check this out. Most people who feel like they are further along in their spiritual journey, people who are growing in the spiritual journey, a lot of times they get control confused. They get leadership control confused with control. Christ's ministry, when he said, you will do greater things than I. Christ's ministry mission was, I need to make sure you're greater than me. A lot of leaders now don't want you to exceed them. That's the first thing. Please don't get it misconstrued that even your brothers and sisters in Christ can be jealous of you, because they can. They still human. They can be envious of your gift. They can be intimidated by your gift. What's up, Precious? They can be intimidated by your gift as well. Please don't put it in the back of your mind that you're being radical, extra, or too much, and you feel you have to dumb down what it is that's in your spirit and what it is that the Most High has called you to do. I seen this early on before I even came out of prison. doing gospel music in the prison that I was at. The minute I got on the mic, the minute we walked off, I knew that the gift created enemies that were silent. There's people in ministry who know that you're powerful and they can't step out of the way and understand, I'll let you go ahead of me. I'll help train you. And guess what? Them helping you get to a certain point don't mean you're taking who's in their ministry, but that's what they intimidated by. I still deal with this to this day. I get around people, I'm gonna talk to somebody who always wondering, why does this happen? This is one of the reasons that people with prophetic gifts majority of the time their circle is very small and they are loners. It is because your gift is so powerful and it intimidates people that even though they want to cling to you, they also they feel like they have to watch you and try to control what's going on, because they know if that person keep talking, they gonna want to hear him, they gonna want to hear her. If that person keep pushing and coming up with ideas, they gonna want to follow that versus this. If that person steps up more and more into their person, that person is gonna surpass what's going on. You have to understand that listen, your gift and what you carry creates silent enemies. Don't apologize for it neither. I found myself doing it for years. I found myself not dumbing down, but trying to find a way to let these people know I'm not here to take anything from you that was designated for you, because you're the same person that'll preach to people and say to people what's for you nobody can. If you believe that, then do what the Most High told you to do to help this vessel that you now intimidated by, because what's for you is for you, remember? So whatever it is that you're supposed to be planting or watering that's in me, do so, because what's for you is for you. So I get leery around people, especially when it comes to, man, this is hard to even talk about, man. I get leery talking about accomplishments, goals, finances, plans. I get leery talking about a lot of things because they love you in the beginning. And over time, their patience to get what it is you're trying to show them they can have turns into a resentment and a jealousy towards the person that's the vessel to help you get it. Joseph, for instance, the Most High spoke to Joseph, said he was the one. He said it to his brothers. His brothers took that as, he not understanding in that very moment, if y'all get in line, we all ball. But instead, they took that as, let's get rid of him. That is good and bad in so many ways, because it's a lot of us are around